does it really look like when stealth meets strategy in the frozen skies of the Arctic? How close do rival air forces fly when the world is watching but no one wants a fight? And why are these routine intercepts actually one of the most important military missions happening right now? High above the Barents Sea, in one of the coldest and most strategically sensitive regions on the planet, two Norwegian F-35A Lightning II fighters lifted into the sky on a quick reaction alert mission. Their task was not to engage, not to threaten, but to identify and shadow a formation that has become a familiar signal of power in the high north. Ahead of them were two Russian T-95 Bear H strategic bombers, escorted by Su-35 Flanker M fighters, flying in international airspace but close enough to NATO territory to trigger an immediate response. There was no violation of sovereign airspace, no missiles locked, no dramatic confrontation, and yet this was a mission that tells us everything about how modern air power, deterrence, and strategic messaging really work. These launches happen fast. The alert comes in, pilots move within minutes, and the aircraft are airborne before most people even realize something is happening. In regions like northern Norway, speed is everything. The distances are massive, the weather is unpredictable, and the window to identify an approaching formation is limited. If you respond late, you lose track continuity, and in military terms, losing track means losing certainty. The F-35 changes how these intercepts work. In older generations, multiple aircraft and ground systems had to work together to build a clear picture. Now, a single platform can fuse radar, infrared search and track, electronic emissions, and off-board data into one real-time view of the battle space. The pilot is not just flying toward a visual contact. The pilot already knows what is there, how fast it is moving, what its flight profile looks like, and how the entire formation is structured. So when the Norwegian fighters reached the Russian aircraft, the objective was simple and precise: positive identification, controlled escort distance, and continuous monitoring. The T-95 is not just another bomber. It is a long-range strategic platform designed for endurance, for signaling, and for carrying standoff weapons that allow it to launch from far outside contested airspace. When it appears near NATO's northern approaches, it is a message. It says Russia can project power across vast distances and maintain a constant strategic presence. But the most important detail in this encounter was the escort. The Su-35 changes the geometry of the intercept. A bomber alone is one thing. A bomber protected by high-performance air superiority fighters is another. The interceptor now has to maintain stricter positioning, clearer communication, and disciplined separation. Every movement must be calculated to avoid misinterpretation, because when multiple armed aircraft from opposing military blocs are flying in close proximity, professionalism is the only thing that keeps routine from turning into a crisis. And this is why these missions matter so much. They are not about a single dramatic moment. They are about maintaining uninterrupted situational awareness. Commanders on the ground need to know exactly what is flying near their airspace, how long it stays there, and what it is doing. That continuous stream of data feeds into a much larger surveillance network that includes surface radars, maritime patrol aircraft, satellites, and NATO command structures. Each intercept buys time to assess intent, time to coordinate, time to ensure that nothing unexpected turns into a strategic surprise. For Russia, these patrols demonstrate reach and readiness. Long-range aviation flights show that its strategic forces remain active and capable of operating in the Arctic environment. For NATO, the response shows something equally important, that every approach is monitored, every formation is identified, and response timelines are measured in minutes, not hours. This balance is the real story. The High North has become one of the most strategically significant regions in modern military planning. New sea routes, submarine access corridors, long-range missile trajectories, and forward operating bases all intersect here. Whoever maintains awareness in this region controls early warning time for the entire northern flank of Europe. That is why Norway's F-35 operations from its northern bases are so critical. They provide persistent coverage over an area where geography and climate make operations extremely demanding. And because the F-35 can share its sensor picture across networks, the value of a single intercept extends far beyond the aircraft involved. This particular encounter was described as routine, and that is exactly the point. Routine means the system works. Routine means pilots know the procedures. Routine means both sides understand the rules of the air. Routine means deterrence is stable. The most dangerous intercept is the one that surprises both sides. The safest intercept is the one that happens exactly as expected. What we are seeing is not a spike in activity, but a rhythm. Russian long-range aviation continues to fly near NATO's northern approaches. NATO quick reaction alert aircraft continue to launch, identify, and shadow. The cycle repeats again and again, building a predictable pattern that reduces the risk of miscalculation while maintaining constant strategic pressure. And in modern military competition, predictability can be more powerful than escalation. Because the real message is not in the aircraft themselves, it is in the response time, it is in the track continuity, it is in the fact that nothing unexpected happened. This is how advanced air forces communicate without speaking. Presence is a signal. Response is a signal. Distance, speed, and formation are all part of a language understood by professionals on both sides. So when you see the headline that Norwegian F-35 bombers intercepted Russian T-95 bombers over the Barents Sea, it's not just another Cold War-style encounter. It is a demonstration of how modern deterrence actually works in real time in one of the most demanding operational environments on Earth. The Arctic sky is no longer empty. It is monitored, mapped, and measured every day. And as long as these intercepts remain disciplined, controlled, and routine, they serve their most important purpose, preventing strategic signaling from becoming strategic surprise. Subscribe for more updates and comment me to show your opinion.